and welcome to this week's edition of Random Shit. Random Guy, as always. I'm your host, Phil, and we are back for episode 6 of the podcast. That's right, we took a week off. Last week was pretty busy. My wife's birthday was last week and had a lot going on, so we didn't make it. That's okay. We are back again this week and gonna talk a lot about what's going on this weekend with WWE. We're also going to talk about AEW, what they have coming up. But first, I wanted to talk about kind of the state of wrestling right now. It's not really my state of address, but kind of what I think's going on. It hasn't been an exciting time right now. Wrestling hasn't been at its peak. It hasn't been the greatest it's ever been. This month has just been kind of blah. I've been watching everything and I haven't loved it. And I think part of the reason for that is I don't think they love it right now. They know viewership's down because you got the World Series going on and it's a great one. You've got college football back. You've got the NFL's back. You have NBA starting back. Like, there is so much going on and there's so many options out there right now that I don't know that they're all I'm not talking about the wrestlers. I'm talking about the production. I don't think that they're putting their all into it right now. And it kind of happens every time, September comes around, October, you're really just leading to War Games, and that's really it for the end of the year. Because you've got War Games, Survivor Series coming up next month, and I think that's it for WWE for the year until January. So then you kick it all off again with Rumble, which starts your run towards WrestleMania. But with AEW, I don't think that's as much the problem. Traditionally, AEW isn't as good during the football season because Tony Khan is drug every which way. I don't know that's as much the problem this year. I think part of the problem this year is everybody's hurt. You've got so many people out that are regular contributors that aren't on the show right now. And that part sucks. You've got, Will Ospreay. You've got no Swerve Strickland. You basically don't have Kenny Omega. He's there every now and then, but how many more matches do we really have out of Kenny Omega? His body is just not what it used to be. On the women's side, you don't have Toni Storm right now. She's going to be back for the tag tournament, which we'll talk about in a little bit, but you don't have a lot. Your top of the tier guys that you expect to bring it every single week aren't exactly on the show right now. And that's made the championship not feel as important. So AEW just hasn't felt what it normally is. Again, I'm still watching it. I still enjoy the shows, but it's missing something. And I think what it's missing is its main event stars. No MJF. No, I can go on. There's more. But there's so many injuries right now and guys that are off that I think you need them back. And one of the big focuses right now is the tag team division. And that's great. Tag team wrestling is awesome. It's very important. But it's not my favorite thing. And I hate to be that person. I love watching tag team wrestling, but I prefer singles wrestling. It's what I prefer. I think they put on the best matches. But right now in AEW, you have, the return of Jurassic Express, which is fans are fucking loving right now. And if they don't fuck it up, they've got something again with Jurassic Express, something I never thought I would say again. You also have a great run right now out of your champions, Brodito, two great singles stars that have been put together and fucking killed it. That shocked the hell out of me. So, I mean, there is a lot of great stuff going on right now in AEW. And WWE is just, it's just not doing it for me right now. You did lose Seth Rollins on Raw, and I think that hurt because it kind of put a stop to some stories that were building. And instead of answering the number one thing of what do we do next with the vision, you kind of move on past it, which made no fucking sense. I mean, in storyline, you have Braun Breaker take out Seth Rollins, but yet Braun Breaker's not going for the title. I don't know. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but like the state of the union right now is not at its greatest, and there's a lot of great things going on. And I hate to sound fucking negative right out of the gate, but it's not the greatest show right now for either company. But I think bigger things are ahead. I think we got to get through this fall, start the winter strong, and move into January, and kind of reset everything for everybody. But before we get there, I want to let you guys know, make sure you like this video, subscribe to this video so that you see the videos. Again, I hate to be a fucking negative Nancy right off the bat, but things haven't been the greatest for wrestling this past 2-3 weeks. And I think part of it is there's not the build to this pay-per-view for AEW hasn't been great. I don't think that's for another week or two. But this weekend you have Saturday night's main event, which is what I want to start off with. And I didn't mean to start off with a negative rant. That's kind of where we went. But I do want to break down this Saturday night's main event, which, where does that take place? Saturday night's main event from Salt Lake City, Utah. I want to say this is the first Saturday night's main event that is exclusively on Peacock. It will not be on NBC. Kicks off at 8 p.m. I wonder if this is a 2-hour show or a 1-hour show again. It should be a 2-hour show because there's 4 matches, but I'm not sure. So far on the card, there's only 4 matches. But the one, as of right now, you have the vacant men's world, vacant heavyweight title. You have the WWE Undisputed title on the line, the WWE Women's Championship on the line, and the Intercontinental Championship on the line. Now, some of these are rematches that we've seen over and over and over and over again, and some of them are fresh. Going to start with the one I'm most excited about, which also doesn't make as much sense. We're going to start with the vacant heavyweight championship. Seth Rollins got hurt, and they decided they were going to do a 4-way for who gets in which they did not include the Braun Breaker or Bronson Reed, which made no fucking sense because they're the ones who took him out. But the winner of that match, or it wasn't a 4-way, it was a Battle Royal. The winner of the Battle Royal got to go up against CM Punk, which that one makes sense. Seth Rollins beat CM Punk for the title. That's similar to what they did with the women. Io Sky lost, so Io Sky automatically got a bid to when they vacated the women's world championship. So, again, the CM Punk aspect makes the most sense. You also have Jey Uso, who recently lost the title to CM Punk. I think Punk beat him. Yeah, Punk beat Jey. So you got the last 2 champions prior to Seth Rollins being the champ right now on going for the title at Saturday night's main event. And I should be way more excited about this. I'm sorry. Guys, I apologize. I have sinuses going crazy. If you can tell by my voice, it sounds rough, and I hate to be that guy who's hopefully I can keep it all under control, not cough my head off. If I do, I got this mute button. We'll be all okay. But yeah, we're going to start off talking about the heavyweight championship, Jey Uso versus CM Punk. And Jey Uso is finally turning heel, it appears. I really didn't see that coming. Not that I didn't see him working as a heel. He's done it for years. I didn't see him going heel because of how good the merchandise was selling. And sometimes with WWE, that's more important than what the matches are. But Jey and Punk are going to go at it one more time. Personally, I would love to see CM Punk take this one home and go on a run and then lose it at Mania, since we're not doing Bronson Reed, I guess. What sucks, though, is like what I wanted for Mania and what they're doing for Mania doesn't make any fucking sense if CM Punk wins this match. But I also don't want to see Jey Uso as champ. So it puts me in a weird spot. Personally, I would love to have seen Bronson Reed in this situation against CM Punk, where Bronson Reed defeated CM Punk and won the title. That would have made more sense, but we got Jey Uso instead. Yeah, like that this matchup just doesn't make as much sense to me, but it's what we got. It's what we're dealing with. I'm going to stop complaining. I'm going CM Punk over Jey Uso just because I don't want to see a Jey Uso championship again. That being said, what I wanted to see at Mania was Punk versus Cody. That's what I wanted. I wanted CM Punk to win the Royal Rumble, face Cody at Mania. That would have made the most sense. They have not done that match yet. But instead, you're blowing a Mania match because you got someone hurt, because you didn't want to go on ahead and move. You didn't want to put the title on Bronson Reed early. And I get it. No one's going to remember who wins Saturday night's main event and gets the title. It may be one of the first times the title has actually been won on Saturday night's main event. Normally, historically, on Saturday night's main event, it is a show that doesn't ever, and I mean ever, move the title. But there's going to be somebody crowned. So I'm going CM Punk. We go ahead and start that story. Hell, he could lose it before then. But I want to see a Jey Uso go fucking dark as hell because he lost it. I want to see him descend into madness. Maybe even set up a Jey versus Roman match. That would be cool. So just something different, something besides the same old shit, which is what we get for the WWE Undisputed title. I feel like we just talked about this match on the last show of Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre. They have done this over and over and over again. And yeah, it's going to be a fucking banger. But Cody Rhodes is going to win again. It just makes the most sense. You're not going to put... I don't see Drew McIntyre again winning the title. You're not swapping two titles on Saturday night's main event unless if you... Maybe the women's title, but I don't even see that. So I'm going Cody Rhodes over Drew McIntyre. It's going to be a fucking banger. Those guys always put on a great show, but how many times do you need to see that in a short period of time? And I'm going to be talking about the same thing on repeat when I talk about AEW in a little bit. It just makes no sense to me, but I'm going Cody Rhodes over Drew McIntyre. Women's title. Another rematch. Yay! WWE Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill. Kind of reminds me of the Jey versus CM Punk, where Tiffany Stratton's the baby face, and now Jade Cargill has turned heel, even though the last time they faced, she wasn't. If any title was going to change hands, it would be this one, but I don't understand why you would do it. Jade Cargill is not ready to be a champion. Her in-ring is not good. She's not gotten any better since she was in AEW, but she's got the look. She's got the fan base. So if anybody was going to get the swap, it would probably be this one, but I'm still sticking It's Tiffany time. Tiffany Stratton over Jade Cargill. The next match is probably, besides the Punk versus Jay match, the one I'm most excited about, and that is for the Intercontinental Championship. It's going to be a three-way between champion Dominic Mysterio versus Penta versus Rusev. Now, this is a match I can get behind because it makes sense. You're building several stories here. Rusev and Dominic Mysterio have been going at it for the Intercontinental title on television for the last couple weeks. Penta is going up against Dominic Mysterio for the AAA title, the mega champion. It builds for the AAA match. It builds for the Rusev aspect. Penta's going to go nuts in this match. Anytime Penta's on the screen, you need to be watching. Don't fucking get up. You're going to have a great time. Dominic Mysterio, holy shit, has he been good. I'm waiting on that babyface turn. I've been waiting on it for a while. At this point, I don't care as long as he gets away from the Judgment Day. He can stay a chicken shit heel for all I care. But as long as he's not with the Judgment Day, and he is moving closer to babyface, but Penta's the real babyface in this match. Then you got Dominic Mysterio kind of as a tweener and Rusev as the heel. This is going to be a banger. And I guarantee you this probably opens the fucking show. And I don't know if there's got to be a big, there's a big AAA event coming up. I think it's next week. It might happen this weekend. So that doesn't make as much sense. But AAA for that mega title, whenever they've got something big coming up, that's when you're going to see Dom Mysterio and Penta. I know Ray's supposed to be on a AAA show in December. I've talked more about AAA since WWE bought them than I ever have in my life. And I guess that's a great thing. Hey, man, thanks for joining the chat. We got Media Pod joining with us. Dude, give me your predictions for Saturday night's main event. We'll put them on the screen. We'll talk about it. But yeah, the match, like I said, that I'm most excited for on this show is the Intercontinental title match, mainly because of what it can create, what it builds. The other three matches on the show are what they are. It's tough to call it a PLE because this isn't really a PLE. It wasn't before, but now it is. You can't have that without having Cody Rhodes on the show. But it didn't have to be Drew McIntyre. You could have built more stories. And like I said, I'm not as on board with the whole building of, I don't know. Cody needs a new opponent besides Drew. And Tiffany Stratton needs a new opponent besides Jade. I said Jay, but Jade Cargill. Even though Jade is a heel now, it's time to move on. Let's build some more stuff. Speaking of moving forward, one of my favorites, and should be yours, Chelsea Green has got a contract extension through 2030. This year she was up for renewal, and I knew she was going to stay with the company. I didn't know she was going to get an extra 5 years out of it, which is great for Chelsea and Matt, especially since they just built that brand new house with that toy room. They need to pay for it somehow. But Chelsea has got a contract extension, and this is a well-earned contract extension. She's on television constantly. She was the first U.S. champion, even though they kind of dropped the ball with the U.S. championship since and during her reign. But she's become kind of a face of the company, and that's really what you need, man. You need her being a part of that and being on screen, and it helps a lot. Chelsea moves merchandise. Anytime WWE needs something, they throw out Chelsea Green. And Chelsea has said she wants to be the female Miz, and that's kind of what they've made her. She's comedic, she's fun, she puts on a good match when needed, But if they need a PR person, Chelsea Green is your girl, and she is there for that. So congrats on Chelsea getting that contract extension. And the first weekend of that contract extension, which is this weekend, or actually, we don't actually know when the contract extension happened. We just know it just come out. Fightful, Sean Ross Sapp and Fightful broke that news earlier this week. But Chelsea has a big match this weekend, one that I'm excited about because I love this tag team. Chelsea Green and Ethan Page are going to challenge for the AAA Mixed Tag Championship against La Hydra and Mr. Iguana. Now, this is taking place at the Day of the Dead event on November 2nd at the Showcase in Monterey. Chelsea issued that not huge, but she issued a challenge on social media, and AAA confirmed that this match is going down. I think this is the second or third time that Chelsea has tagged with Ethan. She showed up on NXT, kind of a Team Canada thing, and it was great. And they make a great pair together, and it's cool to see two people who've worked their way up from TNA to be headliners, even though it's not actually a headliner, but to be in a big spot for a developmental. I would love to see those two together on the main roster, if I'm going to be honest. Chelsea could be a mouthpiece for him. When she's got a match, he could be a mouthpiece for her. They could pull off the Team Canada shit. The Secret Hervis working for him would be great. It's been fun on NXT when they're together. I love that they're taking it into AAA. I don't know how. I think the Mexican crowd will fucking love her. They hate Ethan, which is great because that's what they're supposed to do. So you put them together with equal amounts of hate, you're going to have a great fucking show. So I would, like I said, it'll be really interesting to see where this moves forward. I don't know that they're going to take the title off Mr. Iguana, but they could. I mean, his theme for WWE hasn't been as great as it was in the past. That being said, this is AAA and this is WWE. Again, you've got to think, though, you've got The Undertaker running that show, Jeremy Borash. Not as much of the Lucha people running the show as they used to be. My man Conan's not actually in charge of things anymore. So I think they're going to WWE it, but at the same time, it's not a big show, so do you really want to blow Chelsea and Ethan winning that title, but do they really care about that title? I know if they did win it, you're going to see more of that mixed tag championship belt than you ever have. That's for sure. Chelsea's going to have that on every fucking show that she's on. It's going to be on SmackDown. I'm sure she'll be on NXT with it. She'll be doing media appearances with it. Ethan will be 2 belts. He'll have the North American Championship over one shoulder and the mixed tag over the other. So that's a possibility. Ethan's great on camera. He's good with like I said, he works perfect with Chelsea Green. It makes sense to put those two together. I'm excited to see where they go moving forward. So let's transition over to AEW. We've done a lot of WWE talk in the first half hour. I want to talk what's going on in AEW, and I want to start that off with what happened this past week on Dynamite. They did a 4-way Halloween, some kind of match to close out Dynamite between Samoa Joe, Bobby Lashley, Ricochet, and Hook. And the winner of that got Hangman Page at Full Gear next month. I need to look and actually see when is Full Gear. Let's see here. Full Gear 2025 is November 22nd. We still got, fuck. I thought it was coming up soon. We still got 4 weeks of television before then. So they've got a lot to build. That's a good sign. I thought they were kind of throwing this together quick, but I also thought that the pay-per-view was like on the 15th. It's not. We still got 4 more weeks of television, so that's another month of television to build this. But we're just building a rematch. As Samoa Joe won, and he's going against Hangman Page. And kind of what I was talking about earlier, how your main event picture isn't there. It kind of makes sense that they're doing this rematch, but it's really fast to do this rematch, especially since most likely Samoa Joe's going to lose again. That being said, they could be done with the Hangman thing because he doesn't have a lot of challengers right now. That being said, I would have loved to have seen Bobby Lashley. If you would put Bobby Lashley in this place, you could have built up a huge match between Hangman and Bobby. Then done Samoa Joe. You got that at least a month in between pay-per-views to where there was a little bit more downtime. So we've got 4 more weeks of television before Full Gear. One of those is Blood and Guts. And then, so yeah, we got time to build this thing, but it's really fast to be doing the rematch. That being said, I'm glad they are pulling this early to see who's going up against him, because we know, Samoa Joe now is going up against Hangman. We have Mercedes Moné going against, Mercedes and why do I want to say Willow against Statlander for the women's title. We know that the tag match is Brodito versus FTR. So like they're making these title matches fast. So I'm like, man, this pay-per-view's got to be coming up. But no, it's not. We still got a month away. We got 22 days, 23 days. So yeah, that's plenty of time. Like I said, that's 4 more televisions. I don't know why I thought this was moving so fast. I guess it's not moving as fast as I thought it was. So that's good. And you do have time still to build for Blood and Guts, because Blood and Guts is until the 13th, I believe. Not positive. Let me check on that one as well. Let's go to AEW Tix. TIX.com. Sorry for the dead time. So yeah, we've got Full Gear on the 22nd from New Jersey in Newark. Blood and Guts is November 12th. So we've got 2 weeks until Blood and Guts. And then, so I thought it was 4 weeks of television. It's 3 weeks of television. Either way, we still got time to build this shit. But you've got Blood and Guts on the 12th. So that's going to be a show that I don't see that show building anything. I feel like ending shit. You should be ending 2 feuds then. Whether that does or not, we shall see. AEW, I thought at the last pay-per-view was going to end a ton of feuds and did not. So we'll see. Anyways, let's talk Blood and Guts since we already brought it up. They have confirmed this week that it's not going to be a women's only Blood and Guts. I think that they haven't built that very strong. So they were like, hey, we should probably go ahead and do a men's Blood and Guts too. And now that is going to be the Conglomeration versus the Death Riders. It's Darby Allin, and you've got Orange Cassidy, Briscoe, Kyle O'Reilly, and probably Roderick Strong. So those 5 up against the Death Riders. Cool. I kind of thought we were over the whole I really thought we were going to be over the Moxley versus Darby thing at the last pay per view. I mean, why do you do an I Quit match if you're not going to make that be the end? That being said, if you are going to need more, which you didn't, but if you do need more, you do have a big match with. You've got Blood and Guts for that. So Blood and Guts, a great Death Riders being involved, conglomeration, cool. I really would have liked to see Don Callis family involved in this, but that's cool. Death Riders. Maybe this is the time. You need the conglomeration to break up the Death Riders right here. This needs to be Jon Moxley's final downfall in the Death Riders at Blood and Guts. You also had the women's match, which we don't know really who the fuck's going to be in that. We know Penelope Ford's not because she has tore her Tommy John. For those of you who don't know, she's tore the ligament in her elbow, which is basically the same as your ACL. I think it's like, I forgot what it's called. But anyways, it's called Tommy John because in baseball, it's the surgery pitchers get because they throw out their elbow. That's what she's done, essentially. She's gone for the year. I mean, let's face it. There ain't no coming back from a Tommy John in wrestling that fast. I'd be shocked if you see her. Well, I think we might see her, but I don't think you're going to see her on a regular basis. She may become a manager, which I'm fine with too. But she's been pulled from the women's tag team tournament, which is what I got up next in line. As originally, she was supposed to team with Megan Bayne and be on television. I believe it was next week. Instead, we're not getting that because she's out. Instead, Marina Shafir has stepped up. She's going to be Megan Bayne's tag team partner. And I wouldn't be shocked if you saw Megan Bayne and Marina Shafir at least make it to the semifinals. But we haven't talked about these brackets yet. The tournament has started, so we will start from the bottom and work our way up, as with the last match we talk about being the one that has already happened. So first, I want to talk about Megan Bayne and Marina Shafir as a tag team versus Tajay, which is Ty Mello and Anna Jay. The real tag team in this match is Tajay. They've been tagging together for a long fucking time. So they are the most deserving of moving on in this. However, they haven't been on television consistently. They haven't been on television at all going into this tournament. And you got Marina Shafir being a huge member of the Death Riders. And I think she's on an undefeated streak. Or if she isn't, no, she's not on an undefeated streak, but she's got on a huge win streak on her own. Megan Bayne has been a fucking monster. So I really see Megan Bayne and Marina Shafir taking that first match and moving forward in the tournament. That being said, it's possible that they go Tajay and actually move a tag team forward. But I don't think that's what's going to happen here. You've already had one move forward that's an actual tag team. I don't think you're going to see another one move like that. Honestly, I don't see another. The only real two tag teams in this whole tournament are the Sisters of Sin and Tajay. The rest of them are singles that have been thrown together, which is really fucking weird because you have so many women on the roster that's not doing a damn thing on television that you could have put a bigger tournament together and had more. Anyways, this tournament consists of 8 teams when it should have consisted of 16 and had an extra round. That way you could have had more people who's not on television in a high profile situation, where instead you have your regular women, your same 8 women that's always on TV. Let's face it, that's what's happened. Most of these women are probably going to be in the female blood and guts, to be honest with you. The next match I want to talk about is the Timeless Love Bombs of Timeless Tony Storm and Mina Shirakawa. Both of them are coming off losses. And they're going up against Alex Windsor, who we've not seen on television in I don't know how long. Month. And Riho, who's also not been on television in at least a month. That's an obvious... You're going to have the Timeless Love Bombs moving forward because you're not going to have two people who you haven't been featuring on the show win this match. Especially a tag team that makes no sense whatsoever. If anything, it should have been Alex Windsor and Jamie Hayter. Instead, it's Alex Windsor and Riho. The next match. The Babes of Wrath. Willow Nightingale and Harley Cameron versus Mercedes Moné and Athena. Now, I think the Babes of Wrath should win, but I don't think they will win, as you've got Mercedes Moné on a belt quest. I think she's going to win every fucking title she can win except for the big one. And I think it's going to be a great story to tell when she starts to lose them all. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but I think if she wins the AEW tag title and then loses at Full Gear for the main title, you're going to see a descent where she's like, am I good enough? Why can't I win the big one? I can win all the others, but I can't win the big one. I think that's an interesting story that can be told. So I would like to see Mercedes Moné move forward. As of right now, that match is happening next week on Collision. Not Collision. I think it's happening next week on Dynamite. And I want to say the Tajay and Marina Shafir might be happening on Collision this week. That being said, don't quote me on that. Like I said, we've got time. We've got a couple weeks of television left. We just kicked off the tournament this week with the first match of Queen Aminata and Jamie Hayter and the Sisters of Sin, Sky Blue and Julia Hart. This match is what should have been setting up Blood and Guts, the female Blood and Guts. You've got Jamie Hayter, who's called out the Sisters of Sin over and over and over, and Tekla, the Triangle of Madness. And instead, we got it as part of the tournament. That being said, the reason we have this match is the build-up match going in. Queen Aminata and Jamie Hayter got to pick their opponent, and they chose the Sisters of Sin, Sky Blue, and Julia Hart. And they were doing great in the match. And Tekla got involved and cost them the match. Sisters of Sin are the first team to move to the semifinals of the AEW Women's World Championship. I could not be happier to see the Sisters of Sin move forward. I think these two together are a great tag team. They are a real tag team, and realistically, I think they should win the whole damn thing. Do I think they're going to? No. I think your main event is honestly going to be I hate to say this. I think it's going to be the Timeless Love Bombs of Tony Storm and Mina Shirakawa going up against Mercedes and Athena. And that's not something I'm really excited about, but AEW's done this before. When they introduced the tag titles, they put on Hangman and Kenny Omega. Hangman and Kenny. The team no one thought was going to be the team. And they did a great fucking job. And it helped build Hangman Page, who had just come off a loss for the title. The problem is with this match is Athena's lost for the title. Mercedes is lost for the title. Mina Shirakawa lost for the title, and Tony Storm just lost for the title. So you got 4 solo acts that are going for the tag titles. And how is that going to work out? I don't see Timeless, Tony Storm and Mina Shirakawa losing to Riho and that. That being said, if they were going to lose to anybody, I wouldn't be against them losing to Megan Bayne and Marina Shafir. They, even though they just got thrown together, they're going to be two tough bitches. And I don't have a problem with that. Like, I think it'd be cool to see. So, this tournament it was needed. It should have had more teams. It should have had a more variety of teams. It should have had teams that are actually real teams. That being said, I think you're going to see Mercedes and Athena pull it out and win the whole damn thing. You're going to have Athena with 2 titles. You're going to have Mercedes with 13 belts at that point. I think that's the number. Fuck, I don't even know. By the time that happens, she'll be at 15. So, I don't know when the finals of this is. It would make sense that it was at Full Gear, but I don't know that it's at Full Gear because, again, we've got 3 weeks of television. You could pull that off, but do you want Mercedes Moné going twice and one not? MJF's done it, but I don't know that you want Mercedes to do it. So, again, I don't know when the finals are. I don't know that it's even been announced when the finals are. It would be cool to let this story build up some and maybe do it at World's End. That would give them a little bit more time to breathe with this tournament and not do it in a fucking rush, because everything's going to get put on hold in 2 weeks. With Blood and Guts being on the 12th, every story is going to be put on hold, especially with them doing 2 Blood and Guts, a women's and a men's. So I went to the first Blood and Guts. Coolest match I ever fucking seen. It was at the time, MJF's team versus Jericho's team, and Jericho's team lost because Sammy threw in the towel so that MJF didn't throw him off the thing. It was so weird being there though, because the finish you couldn't tell why the match just ended. It just ended, and then Jericho got pushed off into some cardboard boxes. But it was really fucking fun to see. That being said, it was an hour long. You got a 2-hour block of television. You got 2 Blood and Guts matches. I think Blood and Guts is a 5-minute incremental. It might be 3 minutes. Let's see here. How long is Blood and Guts matches? I think it's every 5 minutes is when the increments. I think it's your traditional War Games match. So this will be the 5th one they've done. And the first one was the Pinnacle versus the Inner Circle. Like I said, I was at that one. It was fucking cool. It was post-pandemic. It was right before Mother's Day. So we had just went to the beach on the East Coast, on the West Coast of Florida, drove over to Jacksonville, got to see Blood and Guts at Daly's Place. It was the first time really they'd opened up to a bigger crowd, and it was really fucking fun. And like I said, the Pinnacle lost that one. I mean, the Pinnacle won that one because of Sammy Guevara throwing it in. Then they did it again the next year in June, and that one was between the Blackpool Combat Club, which is basically everybody who was in that will be in it again, as it will be the Blackpool Combat Club, a.k.a. the Death Riders, and then it was the Jericho Appreciation Society. Then in 2023, they did Blood and Guts, which is the Golden Elite versus the Black Bull Combat Club again. So that's going to be the 3rd time that Jericho's been in this match. Not Jericho, shit, Moxley. Moxley's been in this match. And then in 2024 in Nashville, they did it It was Team AEW versus the Elite, and there was no Moxley in that match. Thank fucking God. So I think that's the match where, yeah, that's the match where I want to say that, no, it couldn't have been because Briscoe was in that match. Anyways, that set up some other stuff. I digress. We've got two matches. We got so far, the only thing announced for the women are Queen Aminata and Jamie Hayter. I don't know who the other three is going to be. And then the Triangle of Madness, which is Julia Hart, Sky Blue, and Tekla. I'm really curious to see who in the hell is going to come out of this ahead. And I think you're going to see the conglomeration win on the men's side. And I wouldn't be shocked if you saw the Triangle of Madness on the women's side. But that's all I got for you guys this week. It's a short one, but it's been a good one. I got on my soapbox to start the show. We broke down this weekend's Saturday night's main event. We've talked a little AEW. We've talked Blood and Guts. We found out when Full Gear was because I didn't know. So all in all, I think we did a good job. I want to thank everybody who stuck with me this long. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know when we're live again. Tell a friend, tell a hater, tell anybody you know to come and check out our page. This weekend, I am going to be in Lexington, Kentucky on Sunday, November the 2nd. November the 2nd at the Lexington Ice Rink. I'm going to be going to Appalachian Mountain Wrestling. I don't know what they're calling that show. Let's look that up here. But yeah, I'm going to be at AEW watching some wrestling in Lexington. That's my local promotion. Like I said, is Appalachian Mountain Wrestling. And it is always a good time. I've not been to AMW since I've moved back to Kentucky. So I'm really excited to see how far they've grown. The last time I was at an AMW show was probably, it's been 5 years. It's been longer than 5 years. It's been 6 years probably since I've been to an AMW show. Because like I said, I moved off to Alabama in 2019, so it was at least 2018 was my last show that I went to of theirs. So I'm excited, and it is going to be called, I think maybe it's just the regular AMW Showdown. It is. They're just calling it their regular TV show. They have a TV show that comes out every Tuesday night, so it's a fun watch if you are a wrestling fan. But the reason that I'm excited about this weekend show is Jeff Jarrett is going to be in the house. That's right. Double J himself. The last outlaw. AMW's Jeff Jarrett, WWE Hall of Famer, is going to be in the house, and he's going to be tag teaming with one of my favorite local teams, the Heat Seekers. The Heat Seekers, you've seen them on AMW. Sorry. You've also seen them on NWA. So, I mean, they are great. They're a great tag team. And I don't know who they're going against because I'm not looked into the card that much. I watched on Tuesday, but I don't remember. I think they've got a couple matches for the show set up now. Stan Sierra is going against RT3 for the New South title. Not the New South title that I know. The Lexington New South title. That's a whole nother story. I'm not getting into that. Let's see here. Nope. That was AMW's show last week. So I don't know who's going to be on this show, but I do know also the Man Beast Rhino is going to be there as well. This was going to be John Noble's last time in Lexington, Kentucky. It's going to be fun. Make sure if you're in the Lexington area or in Kentucky at all, make the trip. It's going to be fun. I'm making the trip. I'm excited. I will be there in the front row watching. So AMW this weekend. That's all I got for you guys. Like, subscribe, tell a friend, tell tell a lover, tell a hater, tell anybody you want to make sure you're here next Thursday. I'm going to do a video for AMW as well. So hit that notification bell so you see when we are live again. Follow us on socials, Instagram, TikTok, and X at RSRG Podcast. We're on Facebook under, I think it's under Random Shit, Random Guy. Might be under RSRG Entertainment. I don't know. Look us up. Till next time, guys. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week.